What's up, everyone? Today we are going to talk about chord inversions and why you should learn them. I'm going to turn this down here so I can actually read my comments. Good to see everyone. I have a couple announcements before we start. So the Beato book 3.0 is finally available. I've been working on it with Billy, my assistant, for 6 months or so. Since March we started working on it. And the whole second half of the book, after page 300, has tablature in it. And took 30 years to get tablature in my book. I was always kind of against it, but everybody reads tablature. And the people that have bought the book, it's a pay what you want. And emailing should have gone out to you. So, pay what you think is worth upgrading to. If you don't want to upgrade, you don't have to upgrade. But the second version, book 2.0, is no longer available. For those of you that want to purchase it for the first time, because we're going to actually do something out of the book today, there's a 25% discount code. RB25 is the code. You enter it in right at the very end. Go to my website at rickbeato.com. Aaron is doing the, he's moderating this from Nashville. It's amazing how that works. So I'm going to take a page from my book. And I honestly haven't talked about this much, about chord shapes, chord inversions, and chord substitutions, and how they're all related. They're related theoretically. They're also related for... you'll see when I just picked a chord out at random, open to page 131 for those of you that have my book. Or it might not be on 131. There's a few extra pages in the book now because of the tab. But it's they are major 7 flat 5 chord voicings. Okay, so we're just going to take one just with a root on the low. On the 6th string, okay? Now, this can be played on the piano. It can be played on any chord instruments. I'm going to do it on the guitar. When I say major 7 flat 5, that's what I'm talking about. You guys can all hear that, right? Okay, so if you say, well, what's the next inversion of this with the root on this string? So I have to go up to the 3rd, which is this. Now, you don't have to guess that. It's written right there, right in front of me. So this is with the 3rd in the bass, root in the bass. This is the next inversion of that chord. If it were this, then it'd be that. But this is this. You might say, oh, that sounds kind of familiar. It's like this. That you'd hear kind of in a film noir thing, or it's like a James Bond kind of a sound. That's a minor 6/9 voicing, but that'd be a minor 6/9, F sharp minor 6/9 with C sharp in the bass. Okay. Then the next inversion is this. I'm playing the root with my thumb. This is a D sharp. It's got the flat 5 in the bass, or E flat minor 9 flat 5. Well, you might say, well, that looks kind of like this, like an E flat or D sharp minor 7 flat 5. It is, but it has that note in it. Okay. That may be a voicing that you guys have played. We'll talk about that. And then the last voice inversion is that. It's a little tricky to grab there. Okay, it's got G sharp in the bass. So it's got the major 7th in the bass there. So I have the root in the bass, the 3rd, the flat 5, and the major 7th. That's the arpeggio. Okay, so how are those chords related? Well, let's say that you're playing a tune and you're playing this chord right here. Let's see you're doing. Chord progression like that. That'd be a minor 2-5-1 in the key of C sharp. 2, 5. Well, this chord, or this chord, which is I've just added a note out of the scale to it to give it a little bit different flavor. I could actually use that as a substitution. Any one of these chord forms can be substituted for any other one, okay? So instead of going 2 to 5 to 1, I can really go 2, 5, 1. Or I could go, instead of the 5 chord, I could do a D7 tritone substitute, right? So it'd be this. Instead of going, you could go like this. Right? Or you could go. Instead of just doing, or instead of going, go. Right? And then that would be another substitute. Okay, so this chord can also be a substitute. So I can go, I could do 2, 5, okay, right, 1. And then if I go to this, that would be an inversion of that C sharp minor 7. Okay, so I'm using these inversions, 2, 5, 1. Or I could go. That sounds cool. That's beautiful. I've never played that before. All right. Now, another thing you can do is this arpeggio. Let's say I take this major 7 flat 5 arpeggio. If I take a major 7 arpeggio just in this position, and I flat the 5th, there's my flat 5. Okay, that arpeggio will work over any of these chords. So let's say I play this chord voicing. Or I could play this chord. Sorry. There's that sound. I'm actually playing the. Playing right out of that. Beautiful sound, right? So all these voicings, same thing. Now I could also play this same chord down here and play this arpeggio. I'm just actually playing this chord in single notes. So those 4 chords are completely related. You could say this is a Dorian sound, right? This is a Lydian sound. This is a Locrian sound. But they're really all from E major. Every one of these chords is from an E major scale. So if I play this chord here, says, how am I generating that drone? I have a freeze pedal on. Now this is all in the Beato book. This is all in the new version. It's in the old version, page 131, these chord forms that I'm playing. And the discount code is RB25, 25% off. It's really 25% off anything in my store. Thank you so much, Doug. Really appreciate that. Tommy Emmanuel in Chattanooga on Sunday, September 8th. You know, I was just literally watching Tommy Emmanuel on YouTube before this. That is so funny. I was watching him talking about tuning and about how he has a very simple tuner that has a metronome on it, and he's an old school tuner like I am, where he gets the thing kind of in tune, but then he plays chord forms and makes sure they're in shape, that they're in tune. I do the same thing. I always checking chord shapes to see that they're in tune, because that's really, I hear a little bit of tuning discrepancy there, but a lot of that's caused because it's a Gibson. A little bit. There we go. Okay, so that is how you use chord substitutions, how you can take one chord and use substitutions for it. There are simpler chord forms other than dominant 7 flat 5 that work in the very same way. Guitarists like Wes Montgomery, those of you that know anything about jazz guitar, Wes was probably the greatest jazz guitar. Well, he's not the greatest jazz guitar player. He's one of the greatest jazz guitar players, because there was... at the same time, Joe Pass, Barney Kessel, Herb Ellis, Tal Farlow, George Benson, Grant Green. There's so many great guitar players. I love Wes Montgomery. And one of the things I love Wes is that he would take a set of chords, a very simple set of chords, and he would use them in many different ways, okay? I've talked about this in other episodes, but I'll talk about it again, using these same principles. Let's say I take a chord like this. This is F sharp minor 7 flat 5 right here. Okay? Well, if I put a D in it, you say, oh, that's a D9 chord. Huh. How's D9 and F sharp minor 7 flat 5 related? Well, you can see it. It's just the top part of a D9 chord. It's got the 3rd, the 7th, and the 9th, and the 5th of a D. So if I put a D in the bass, it becomes that. Okay? Now, if I go to the next inversion on this, that's the next inversion of this chord. And Wes would know that. And then the next inversion, so I'm looking here, right? I have it there, and then I've got there. Then that's the next inversion there. And then the last inversion is here. So all 4 of those chord shapes are F sharp minor 7 flat 5, okay? So they are all substitutes for D7 or D9. Okay, well, if you take it one step farther and you say, well, can you play an F sharp minor 7 flat 5 arpeggio over a D7 chord? Well, let's check it out. Yeah, you can. Wow, that works great, right? Can you play a D7 arpeggio over F sharp minor 7 flat 5? Yes, you can. Right? Whoa. That's when you start getting into those kind of chords, really cool voicings, like in this voicing that I love, which is a D9 over F sharp. You'll hear it in the Church's tune, Under the Milky Way. I love that. It's a great change. You go to F major 7. That's a great substitute for just a D7 chord. Or now, you say, okay, well, what else could this be? Well, this F sharp minor 7 flat 5. If I put a G sharp in the bass, it becomes a G sharp 7 with a sharp 5 and flat 9. So can you play F sharp half to minor 7 flat 5 over that? Yeah. Let me turn this down just a little bit here. Sounds great over that, right? Well, will D7 work over it, or D9? Of course it will. Works great over that, okay? So this is a, you can play that altered down, but you can see that or that. Well, this is another substitute. So if I have a 2-5-1, if I did a so I'm doing altered here. So 2, 5, 1, right? But I can go 2, 5, or any of those chords will work for this chord as a sub. I could play, okay, right? So this 2 chord, E flat minor 7 flat 5. If I move it up a minor third, it becomes the substitute for this dominant chord, G sharp dominant. So 2, 5, and then 1, or would be there. So once again, 2, 5, 1, or right. So I did the 2 chord. There's your altered chord to 1. So all of this is in my new Beato book 3.0, actually, that was released 3 days ago. But this is my first live stream that I've done since I released the book. The 3.0 version has updated examples in the back. I've updated almost every example because when I was doing the tab, I said, you know what, let's change this to that. So it has tablature, it has a bunch of new examples in it. And it shows you where I play everything, because that's the most important thing. It's one thing to have the notation, but it's another thing to know where to actually play it efficiently. And with discount code for today, anything 25% off my book is RB25. That's a discount code. Go to my store, rickbeato.com. You can find it there. You can find anything. If you have the Beato book and you want to buy a t-shirt or something, that goes to support the channel. That's how I make videos for free all the time, is on t-shirt sales, book sales, mug sales. You can learn all your music theory from my coffee mugs. The best one is the double harmonic major scale, because those are the most confusing. Those are, the modes of the major scale are pretty easy. I know some of you are like, oh, well, no, I don't even understand modes. Get the coffee mug series, and then you'll understand them. You just cycle them out. Now, if you want to know how to upgrade from 2.0 to 3.0, it's a pay what you want upgrade. All you have to do, if you did not get the email, I tried to send them out to, or Aaron actually was sending them out to everyone, we're gonna send out do another mailing today. It may have gone in your spam folder, but anyone that bought the Beato book 2.0 or 1.0 should have gotten an email to upgrade to 3.0. It's a pay what you want. You can donate whatever you want to the channel or for it. Okay, that's it. It's so you can learn music theory though from my coffee mugs. You can learn, that's the whole beauty of this. And really, when I'm drinking coffee, I want to go the harmonic major scale. Wait a minute, what's the third mode of harmonic major? Oh, okay, cool. And you get that caffeine rush going, and it helps you remember it a lot better. I always say to people, the key to learning things is to not forget them. Yeah, learning them is easy. It's remembering them that is really the tricky part. But really, I mean, do you really learn it until you can recall it like that? By the way, any of you that didn't see the video I did yesterday with Marcus that we put out on drumming and on the shuffle groove, you should definitely check it out. It's a very cool video that we did. Any of you that you don't have to be a drummer to be interested in this. It's absolutely fascinating. Thank you so much, John, for that. I appreciate it. I'm going to answer some questions here. Andrew says Bernstein at Harvard. That's not actually a question, but that's a great thing to watch on YouTube. That's what's so great about YouTube, is that you can watch stuff like that for free. Let's see. Mute That Bozo said, I think you're talking about me, says coffee and guitars go great together. They do. They do. I had a buddy of mine that he used to just get up in the morning and practice, and he'd smoke cigarettes and drink coffee and be practicing. So he'd have a cigarette there, and he'd be just, be playing over tunes and stuff, and have his coffee and drink. And I was like, yo, Eric, you gonna eat anything or what? And he would just be, shedding over, Stella by Starlight or something, and just smoking cigarettes and drinking coffee. That's why he was way skinnier than I am. So, anyways, I'm not not telling people to go out and smoke and drink coffee all the time as a diet. I'm just saying that Joe said music is good food. That's right. That's all you need there. Bill, the rock star diet. Let's see here. Dom says he loves my wall of amps. Some people actually think that I'm in front of a green screen. Okay, so I am gonna disprove that right now. Okay, it's gonna go out of focus for a second. Okay, I'm gonna back up here and hopefully not trip. So I am back here in the back of the room. This is not a green screen, as you can see. Those are actually amplifiers back there. And now I'm back here. I can see there's a delay. I'm watching myself on here. It's pretty funny, actually. And I know I'm wearing my guitar very nerdishly high here, but that's only so it actually fits in the frame here and you can see it. And if you guys notice, I'm using my good camera for the live stream. And I had Dylan come down here and focus it for me before I started. So I call him Eagle Eye Dylan, because he goes in there and he gets it right. Otherwise, the autofocus just kind of keeps hunting and everything, so it's kind of a pain. But so this is how you use the book. This is how you take these chord inversions. You can. What I suggest to do is to learn them. Start with your basic set of 5: major 7, minor 7, dominant 7th, minor 7 flat 5, and diminished 7th. Forget diminished 7th because they just repeat. Every 4 frets they repeat. But if you take a major 7, even if you just do the first 2 voicings of it, right? If you have a dominant 7 and you go up to this, so that's A7. This is A7 over C sharp, right? That's just a very, very simple chord shape. And then you have this one, right? this is with the 5th in the bass. So I had the 3rd in the bass, the 5th in the bass, and I'm going to go up here and have the 7th in the bass. Those are all those shapes. Thank you, Mothdar. Mothdar? Just got one of my coffee mugs. Accidentally sent only $2 the first time. Awesome. Very cool. It's Lick Beato. Thank you, Pocket Man. But that's why your video is hidden there. That's why your comment is hidden, because Aaron hasn't ban-hammered you. Just kidding. John Lennon wore his guitar nerdishly high. I'm not sure nerdishly. That's a good word. I like that. Thank you, Chuck, very much. John Lennon did wear his guitar high. Back in the day, if you think about it, though, I like to wear my guitar really low when I'm playing live. I just don't like... I don't know. I just like being able to move it around like that. But if you're singing, and I was never a lead singer, it's probably a different kind of thing because you're having this on your diaphragm where you're singing. It's got to be, I don't know. It was always weird for me to sing background vocals with the guitar high, I found. But a lot of people back in the old days would do that. They'd wear their guitars really high. By the way, follow me on Instagram. I post on Instagram almost every day. I know a lot of you are like, oh, Instagram, I don't do that. I don't do Facebook. I only do YouTube. It's easy to follow me on Instagram. Just get the app and do it. There's actually some great guitar stuff on Instagram. There's great music stuff on Instagram. But I post almost every single day on there as well. That's why I always put at the end of the video to follow me on Instagram. Once again, the discount code for today's live stream is RB25. It's 25% off anything in my store. That's how I support myself. That's how I support my family in this channel and can do videos for free like that and get people like Marcus to come over and make videos with me. I got some really cool interviews coming up. I'm going to be interviewing Victor Wooten next week. I'm interviewing Antonio Sanchez, who's one of the greatest jazz drummers in the world. I'm going to be interviewing Vinny Colaiuta again, who was on my channel before. I'm going to be interviewing Bob Clearmountain, who's one of the greatest mixers of all time, which I'm very, very psyched about. So take these voicings, like just say, okay, I'm going to take this A dominant 7th chord. I'm going to go here and play this inversion. Then I'm going to go here and play this inversion. Then I'm going to play this inversion. And I'm going to go backwards. Whoops. Oh, I see I screwed it up there, right? So I'm going to practice it more. Okay, that was better. I'm going to go back and forth till I get that, right? Oh, I made a mistake there. I'm doing this on purpose. Try and do it 8 times in a row without a mistake. That's what I found. That's 3... Well, then if you make a mistake, you start over again. Mothdar, thank you so much. 4 mugs. You're awesome. So I would start over then. So here. Take your time getting them because, you know, 3. That's 1 time through those 4. Then I do it again. Do it here. Then I go here. Then I go here. And then you practice the arpeggios. Okay, so that's my A dominant 7th arpeggio. Right, so that gives you that sound. That's that sound, right? You can hear it now. There you go. All those voicings are in the Beato book. Every inversion of every chord off the 6th string, I call it root 6, off the A string, root 5, and off the D string, root 4. That'll pretty much cover all of your drop 2 voicings, your drop 3 voicings, your drop 2 and 3, drop 2 and 4, all those chord voicings. They're incredibly helpful. They're helpful on piano. You should learn them on guitar and piano. They're great for arranging, for chord spacing, all that kind of stuff. Thank you, Phil. You're awesome. Appreciate that. Okay, so that's all I got for you today. Go back if you missed the beginning of the video, check it out. I went through the dominant 7 flat 5 inversions that are on page 131 of the Beato book on the 6th string. I also have on the same page, I have the inversions of the same chords, but off the 5th string. That would be a D major 7 with the D major 7 with the flat 5. And I'm going to give a shout out again to Muthtar, is that how you say it? Muthtar, who has a great. I love the red in that. That is a great fuchsia red with your. Oh man, look at that, Muthtar. Make different kinds of mugs and you'll order them. You know, I'm going to come out with some more mugs. I have some really good ideas for other theory things to go on the mugs, but if you want to learn your circle of fifths, I got a circle of fifths mug. Not only that, but I have a Bierstein, as Aaron, who's German, calls it, that is very popular, Bierstein. So you guys are the best. Thank you so much for watching. I'm at 1,065,000 already, something like that, and pushing on to 1.1 million. Probably 2 weeks we're going to be there. So keep telling people about the channel. Thank you everyone that donated to Super Chat. 25% off everything in my store. RB25 is the discount code. You enter it at the very end. And for those of you that didn't get the upgrade email to upgrade from the Beato Book 2 to the Beato Book 3, it's a pay what you want link. You click on it and you pay whatever you feel is worth upgrading. But you should upgrade because this has all the corrections that I was going to do from 2.3 on, and then it has tablature in it, and it has new examples at the end. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. We will talk